This is a last-minute prediction for Alexander Usyk versus Tyson Fury. And I think I prefer these late predictions because it gives me a chance to fully digest fight week. Let's break it down. I'm backing Usyk to KO Fury within 8. I think the fight is going to be competitive. Fury and Usyk both look intense and ready for this fight, especially at the face-off during the final press conference. I think he clocked in at around over 10 minutes. But I see Fury as weight drained. He looked very thin at the grand arrivals. I think he's overtrained too. So I think overtrained and weight drained. I think he's lost too much weight in that short period of time. He tried to disguise this, especially with extra layers during the open workout and the weigh-ins. It looks like to me that he's had a tough and disciplined training camp, and he's took off too much weight too quick. And I think they're trying to play a ploy, Team Fury, to make Usyk or think that he's actually heavier than he is and maybe have a different game plan to the one that he's actually going to use. But yeah, so I do think Fury has come in overtrained and weight drained. And I also feel that he's just packing on, he's putting them extra layers on just to confuse Team Usyk, to make them think that he's heavier than he actually is. Especially at the Grand Rival. The Grand Rival is where it was quite obvious that Fury looked lighter than he actually was, especially with less layers on. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if Fury takes a controversial decision, because it seems like Turkey's been leaning towards him, especially in that three-way FaceTime call when he was saying that Usyk had ruined all his plans. If the fight is scored similar to the first one, I can see Fury coming away with a decision, if it does go the full 12. I had it 8-4 for Usyk in the first fight. Only way I could see Fury winning this if he came in heavy, like heavier than he actually was, and coming out blitzing Usyk. Similar to like he did in the game plan against Wilder 2. If Fury comes in heavy, if he came in heavy, sorry, I would probably favour him, but with all that leather jacket, probably a couple of layers under that. Yeah, I think he was like 281, and I don't think that's the right weight for him to fight at. And I do think that weight is just, it's incorrect weight. I think it's just extra layers on, so he's just trying to confuse Team Usyk, I think. I am really excited for this fight. Side note, how dapper did Usyk look at the grand arrivals and during the press conference? And you know what else I found hilarious about this fight week? You know, during the grand arrivals when Fury was making his arrival and you just see Usyk looking at him from the cockpit. But yeah, neither man did much in the open workout. I think neither man did much really in the open workout, yeah. Duke McKenzie is also back in Usyk. Duke has been spot on the last couple of predictions on these big cards, such as Joshua Dubois and Usyk Fury 1. And even back in the 90s, he predicted Holyfield and Tyson's first fight. And he also did mention that Fury's legs do look shot. And I've noticed this too, especially in Fury's last few fights. Especially the one fight I did notice in was against Ngannou. He did a little run into the ring and around the stage, probably to try getting his legs going. And on that night, it didn't really help because his legs were gone, and it didn't seem to help him against Ngannou at all because Ngannou was pushing him off. Fury's legs didn't seem to be there. The problem with Usyk is once he gets his rhythm going, his feet and hands going, you're done. The best way to describe Usyk would be an escalator from hell. He applies relentless pressure and suffocates you. He did this against Fury and never let Fury fight at his own pace. If you do look at Fury's last few fights, he has been fighting at his own pace. Dylan White, Chisora. If you give him a chance to fight at his own pace, then yeah, he'll beat you. But if you put the pressure on him and don't let him fight at his own pace, I think that's where you beat him. If you don't allow Tyson Fury to fight at his own pace, that's how you beat him. If you look at the Ngannou fight, Ngannou didn't even let him fight at his own pace, especially with all the clinching and trying to hold on, and Ngannou just fought him off. Back to the point about Usyk being the escalator from hell, that would be the best way to describe him. And we saw this against Joshua, and then his first fight against Fury, and an underrated win from Usyk, Michael Hunter. And then we also saw this against Tony Bellew. Tony Bellew racking up the rounds, and then Usyk came back. Just when Usyk starts that pressure going, he also always nicks them early rounds, 1, 2, and 3. He seems to nick them rounds. And then by the time it comes to the 5th and the 6th, he just takes over. An escalator from hell is the best way to describe Usyk. And then there's that deficit, and you're trying to claw back that deficit, and that's when he gets you. And he's such an accurate counter puncher too. So if you're clawing back a deficit, he'll be able to counter you. And those rounds looks like he's taking those rounds. So it's hard to actually beat Usyk. Let's just hope for a clear and fair fight on Saturday night. Another reason I do believe that Usyk is going to win this fight is the mid-fight adjustments he makes, especially in his first fight against Fury. He figured out Fury's uppercut and used it to set up his own backhand, especially when he was on the inside. Especially when Fury drops his hands, I think once he gets tired, he starts dropping his hands. That's when he gets caught. And Usyk made an amazing adjustment to that uppercut, and he was rolling out of it. And then especially in the ninth when he caught Fury with that big left hand. And I do feel like Usyk is the better at adjusting to styles over Fury. At the weigh-in, I'm going to be honest with you, Fury didn't really look confident to me. He didn't look confident, and I think that the stare-off was only for a couple of seconds, and then he walked off. Especially compare that to the final press conference stare-off, which was clocking now over 10 minutes. Just don't think Fury's confident in this one. And you know what else I find really insane? A side note is that I've never heard anyone discuss this. Tyson Fury, Usyk, and Muhammad Ali have both the same reach, both the same height, and even both have the same birthdays. And they're both Olympic gold medalists. I don't know if it's crazy or a coincidence, or is Usyk Muhammad Ali reincarnated? So getting back to the main point, Usyk by decision. This isn't a Fury hate channel, I promise you. I've enjoyed his career, and I respect what he's done for the sport. But in this matchup, I think I have Usyk with the edge. And I also feel like we're going to miss both of these guys once they do retire. I do think this is the last time we will see Usyk, regardless of the outcome. If Fury wins, I think we'll see Fury Joshua back in Fury in that if that fight happens, but we'll cross that bridge when it comes. But for now, can't wait for Saturday night. It's going to be an epic night. Make sure you like and subscribe. I'll catch you here for my post-fight press conference. Take care. Enjoy the fight.